Former President Donald Trump appeared in federal court late this afternoon, pleading not guilty to charges that he broke the law by trying to overturn the 2020 presidential election. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather Hayes. So this is the third and arguably the most serious of three indictments against him so far, with more charges expected in Georgia as Trump tries to reclaim the White House. Fox 4's Sean Rabb in studio tonight. Sean.
And Heather, another historic chapter. The only former president arrested and arraigned, twice now on federal charges, once on state charges. Special Prosecutor Jack Smith in the courtroom as well today, along with three Capitol Police officers who held the line 2.5 years ago. The one-time president been calling the indictment politically motivated on his Truth Social platform. After court today, Trump held court of his own.
This is a persecution of a political opponent. This was never supposed to happen in America. This is the persecution of the person that's leading by very, very substantial numbers in the Republican primary.
Donald Trump speaking at the airport in D.C. after appearing in federal court.
MAGA again. I'm above the law.
Supporters and detractors gathered outside the fortified federal courthouse less than a mile from where the U.S. Capitol came under attack January 6, 2021. Wearing a blue suit, white shirt, and red tie, the 77-year-old entering a not guilty plea to charges of conspiracy to defraud, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding, obstruction of an official proceeding, and conspiracy against rights. Mr. Trump's attorneys seem to be laying a groundwork for a First Amendment defense. The government's case goes directly to what Trump said and did January 6th and in the run-up to the Capitol insurrection. Hundreds have been convicted for their roles in the riot. Prosecutors have to prove Trump's guilt.
The prosecution's job will be to, number one, show that Trump could not have reasonably believed or possibly believed that he won the election. He was being told by too many people he lost.
Former U.S. Attorney and many-time Special Prosecutor Paul Coggins says that will be the first battleground in this legal fight.
And then the second one will be, was Trump's speech just that speech, or was it a call to arms? Was it a call to action?
The case built in part through interviews with 6 unnamed co-conspirators, described in the 45-page indictment against the 45th president. Several of them, Mr. Trump's advisors, who have not been indicted but could.
In this case, I believe these 6 people will ultimately face charges.
You think they'll testify against Mr. Trump?
I don't think they will if they have not cut a deal with the government, because they've got a Fifth Amendment right not to testify.
This, the third indictment against Trump, potentially the most damaging. Paul Coggins says the government says his actions were an assault on the democracy.
This wasn't just speech. This wasn't just somebody opining about the legitimacy of election. It was, in the prosecution's word, a mob boss telling his underlings, go rough these people up, go overturn Congress, go overturn the election. So it's going to be a trial unlike any of us have ever experienced.
Mr. Trump's been attacking the venue and the judge, but Coggins says he doesn't think the judge will move the case. Wherever the trial is held, it will be American citizens, jurors, who decide his fate. And either way, guilty or not, their decision must be unanimous. Next court appearance in this case set for August 23rd.
Sean Rabb in studio. Thank you.